Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, here at Darwin Football Stadium on this sunny yet pretty enjoyable afternoon in Australia's top end. We have round 14 action coming at you with the home side Port Darwin Football Club up against University Azzurri FC. And today's match could mean quite a lot for both sides, with Port Darwin in the hunt for a top four position. A win today will take them up momentarily above Mindelasis, who play later tonight. On the flip side, we have University Azuri, who with a win today can go top of the table level with leaders Hellenic Athletic Football Club. A resounding win would take them above the Blues. They are currently 7 goals adrift on their goal differential. So this game will definitely mean for both sides, playing for quite a lot with a few rounds to go before the commencement of the 2021 final series. To have the home side in Port Darwin being coached by player coach in Ryan Bailey, influential on the pitch as well as he is off the coach. For University Azuri, we have Michael Raditis leading the Blues out there today. We'll be looking to back up some impressive recent form and continue their surge toward the top of the summit. Referees just checking the condition of the pitch, which were entertained to by a fantastic match last night between Darwin Olympic Sporting Club and Casuarina Football Club in a game that typically had it all, and it did. You had Darwin Olympic going up 1-0, courtesy of another Mitch Amity goal, which were then brought down to 10 men, with their goalkeeper Themeli Magripolis being sent off. Second half was a frenetic start, with Casuarina levelling and then going ahead with 2 goals in 5 minutes before Darwin Olympic surged home when ended up 3-2 victors. Only moments away from today's match, you'll have University Azuri in the blue strip and white socks going right to left on your screens, and Port Darwin Football Club in the claret and blue going left to right. Moments away now. And underway we are. Ball with Jolamal. Stefanidakis going out wide. Finds Daxon Massey. Going back to his captain in Tega Ajiki. Tega looks to go forward and find the charismatic Shamalia, Paul. Back with goalkeeper Rory Hood, who's filling in today for the missing Dominic Price. Now William trying to look for Paul there. Intercepted there brilliantly by Edwards. Now it's Lewis Shamalia in the middle for Stefanidakis. Back out wide for Daxon. Plays a good adventurous ball to humble man Bukana, looking to get forward for Azuri, snuffled out by the Port Darwin defence. Shoved up forward, but equally put back by Ajiki, and the referee adjudged that as a foul on Andre Prifty. Early stages, both teams have had an opportunity to surge the ball forward, and it'll be Port Darwin to get us back underway with a free kick. And it's their player coach Bailey that puts it forward. Tried to look for Prifty, intercepted by Azuri. Ball forward from the Chemelier brothers. And still going forward is Paul. Track back to Edwards. Stefanidakis receives. Cheeky looking for a ball forward. Looks for Lewis Chemelier and nearly got the the right side of Henson and shoved forward. Back come the Azzurri. Stephanodakis will receive this and look back to Edwards. Edwards receives and ponders something forward. Finds Buchanan. Looking inboard. Intercepted by Port Darwin. It will come forward and play it to Agbassi, and Agbassi loses it out to Delembo. Delembo goes back to Edwards, all the way back to goalkeeper and custodian McNevin. That's Dylan. Ajiki. Time on the ball. Plenty of time to find a teammate or reload back to McNevin. And he's got acres to assess the situation, and he'll put it forward out to the attacking right back in Dean Edwards. Got a player coming back onto the pitch. That's Gabriel Finocchiaro, who makes it now 11 v 11. Port Darwin did start with 10 men to begin with. Great to have you out there, Gabriel. Edwards to get us underway with a throw. Plays it forward. All the way back to Delembo, but Jolamal will get that out to Stephanodakis. It's Germanius Jolamal, who's been ever present for Azuri this season so far, but it's a Jackie down forward to Chemelier, finds it its way to Daxon, and somewhat ends it up with Hood at the end of the day. Snuffed opportunity for Azuri, but they'll have plenty of those equally as will Port Darwin, and it's them on the attack. Ball out forward, tried to find Finocchiaro, but that's intercepted by McNevin. McNevin for Azuri will reload and throw a ball out to Daxon. I say it's a ball that's picked off and ends its way back with Azuri and Marimbe. Paul for Port Darwin. Intercepted by Jolamal, and saw what he was trying to do there. Thought his left back would be there. Unfortunately, puts it out of play. It'll be Jacob Giddens to get us underway with a throw in the attacking half for Port Darwin. Gittins looks for some movement, finds it in Prifty. Prifty back to Gittins. You put a ball in Gittins, it does so, but intercepted well by Azzurri. And clears it out for another throw. And Bailey gets us underway. Throws the ball in. Stephanodakis contesting Jones. Port with some promising play here. Borrigan forward finds Finocchiaro, who can look inboard here. Does so. And Prifty. Early opportunity for Port Darwin Football Club. Put over the crossbar by Andre Prifty, but that's encouraging signs for the Wharfies. And they looked... McNevin, Delembo. Delembo will look forward for a teammate. He does so. It's intercepted well from Port Darwin. William looked for his teammate in Jones. It's intercepted. Oh, Marimbe still with the ball. Oh, advantage was on, but it was called back as the advantage was not on there for Azzurri. And now it will be Azzurri that will look forward with a free kick there. Ajiki looks for Chemelier, and that will run out for a goal kick. Port Darwin to get us underway once the goalkeeper retrieves the ball. KG first opening 6 minutes in this round 14 afternoon kickoff slot. As mentioned pre-game, there is definitely both sides a lot to play for in the hunt for the finals. Ball inboard to Hood. Hood looks wide, equally asking for a teammate to come to him to receive. searching ball from Hood. Only finds the head of Delembo, who will see that out for a Port Darwin throw. Throw inboard. Prifty. Ball on for Agbasi, but Ajiki will run that out for a goal kick. Both teams will look to get some fluid play coming early. Both teams can move the ball with technique and speed. And Michael Radidas for Azzurri would have definitely honed that in pre-game. Get the ball on the ground, play it around, and release some opportunities. And what can Edwards conjure here from this wide position? Plays the ball in, looks for Chemelier, but it will run out, and Gittins obliges and sees that out for a throw. And humble man Bukana will... Oh, it's a corner. My apologies. Look to deliver a ball in. Does so. Looks for the head of Chemelier, but it's intercepted again. Both teams go up for the ball. No contest there. And it's Marimbe with the ball still. Looks forward. Isaac Paul doing some defending. Gittins lofts that forward, only to the feet of Stephanodakis. Jolamal, Stephanodakis, back out to Edwards. And Edwards looks to release the team on an attack. Chemelier looks for the 1-2 with Edwards. Unfortunately, finds at the feet of Finocchiaro. Throw in for Azzurri. Azzurri press forward now. Again, Chemelier looks inboard. Intercepted. Oh, but it's a free kick. Slight touch on Lewis Chemelier. Now Delembo, who is crafty on a set piece and will look to deliver in a ball for his teammates to attack. They've got plenty of tall timber in their box. Ejeke making his way forward. Jolamal homing in the back post. And Delembo puts in a ball, inviting. Fell at the feet of Ejeke and could have made Port Darwin pay with that. But it will be Azzurri again on the attack with a corner awarded. And it'll be Jolamal to put a ball in. Promising signs for Azzurri. Some great attack on both flanks. They're equally as strong. But it will be Jolamal to put in a corner. Will it be short? He opted for the short one. Humble man did not oblige. Jolamal puts in a ball. Looks for the head of Ejeke. Cleared out very well from Port Darwin. And again, it is a goal kick. They've defended well, Port Darwin, thus far. Azzurri will be buoyed by the attacking opportunities presented to them so far. Port Darwin will need to find some fluidity to restore balance of momentum in this match. We'll see what they can do. Hood playing it. Looking to get his team forward. Looking for Prifty, and it's a foot race, which Tager will head down to his goalkeeper and McNevin. And now McNevin to get us attacking move underway. Kick forward. Headed down to the Jones. Prifty looks for Paul. Run didn't come. It does from Gittins. And can Gittins keep going here? Instead it's Daxon Massey. Plays it forward to humble man Bukana. But Bailey clears that one out with little to no trouble to null out the attack for Azzurri. And now Daxon to get us back underway. Humble man Bukana looking for Chemelier. Good ball forward from William to Agbasi, to Prifty. Still with Agbasi. William tries to get a foot in. Finds its way to Stephanodakis. Stephanodakis proceeding forward, looking for a teammate, and retreats to Ejeke. Tries to play Chemelier through and header out from Gittins to scuff out another attack. It's Azzurri on the front foot here in the opening 12 minutes of this match. Throw forward. Shemulia. Bukana contesting. Again, finds Shemulia down to Bukana. Shemulia. Jolamal in an attacking position. Stephanodakis, what can he launch here? It's cleared out from Port Darwin. Edwards looking to keep this one in, and does. Cleared out again from Port Darwin. Attacking barrage at the moment by University Azzurri. Port Darwin will need to get some possession here to give their defenders a break. Delembo looks forward. Null out by Port Darwin. Prifty looking forward for Finocchiaro. Finds him. And Finocchiaro on a attacking run. Looks inboard. Agbassi can get to this. Does. Oh, it's off the post. Oh, and it's been adjudged as a handball there. It will be a handball against Agbassi, I thought. And it's a free kick to Azuri. Encouraging signs. Although young referee will consult his linesman there to adjudicate what he saw. Break in play just to see what's going on there. Yellow card seems to come for personnel in the technical area. McNevin to put this ball back into play. Only finds the head of number 15 in Jones. Prifty going forward, looking for a teammate. Finds Isaac Paul. Isaac Paul, good inviting touch there. Needed to be dealt with by Delembo and certainly was up to the task there. Corner for Port Darwin. Looking to hit back with some attacking pressure of their own. It'll be Prifty to get us underway and looks for a head of a teammate. Only finds the head of the opposition in a Jackie. Port Darwin will look to put this ball back in. But it's Paul Chemelier. Nips the ball out. Jalamal. Bailey intercepts. Looking to get his team going forward. Plays it back in the middle for Jones. Jones looks for Finocchiaro and finds him. Takes a touch inboard. Looks for Agbassi. Agbassi holds the ball well. Looking to release Finocchiaro. Scuffed out by Delembo. Agbassi has a shot! And that finds its way in the back of the net. Greg Agbassi laced that one in the top left, and 1-0 Port Darwin. Fantastic positional awareness from the striker, and finally found himself some tight bit of room and let that ball absolutely rip off his boot. 1-0 Port Darwin in the 15th minute. Azuri will need to hit back at this. Ajeke looks for a teammate. Azuri quickly needs to atone for that goal. Port Darwin equally will be buoyed by that goal. McNevin looking for head of a teammate. Gittins intercepts Port Darwin. Back out wide. Edwards judged the flight of that ball perfectly. William looking for Prifty. Finds him. Stephanodakis contesting. It's Azuri on the front foot. Bukana heading forward. Challenged by Prifty. But that'll skip out for a Port Darwin throw. It was almost a goal against the run of play at Port Darwin. Azuri with a lot of early possession and some opportunities. And since then, Port Darwin have really found their way back into the match. Look for the goal scorer again in Ekbasi. Prifty holds the ball very well. Takes a few Azuri players to dispossess him. but William still has the ball for Port Darwin. Scuffle in the middle of the park. And it's a free kick adjudged on William. There was a few players trying to dispossess him. Earns his team a reprieve in a free kick. It'll be a nice ball put forward for Igbasi again, looking for, and McNevin gets there. Headed forward beautifully there. That's Lewis Chemelier going forward. Ball finds its way back to Massey. Daxon. Well done from Isaac Paul to just stand in the way and get a touch onto that, and Massey will play that forward. Gittins will see that run out for a Port Darwin throw. Immediately taken, looking for Prifty. Finds Prifty. Looks inboard. No further than Dean Edwards, but that gets its back to Port Darwin in Jones. Ends up with Rory Hood. Hood to Bailey. Bailey looking forward. Isaac Paul in plenty of acreage. Bad touch there, but he atones for that. Prifty looking back inboard. William. An offside position was Isaac Paul. Let that ball go. Daxon Massey. Well done from Prifty. Good pressure. Port on the attack again. Looks back post. Finocchiaro got a head onto that. Wrong height for him. Encouraging signs from the Wharfies. They've restored parity in regards to both possession and opportunities. And it's shaping up for a very even match this afternoon. Both sides, as mentioned previously, have a lot to fight for. Azzurri, with a win today, can go equal first, and Port Darwin a big 3 points needed to keep up with the pace for the race for the top four. McNevin, short ball, finds Marimbe. Ball out to captain Najiki. Looks middle for Bukana, but that will be followed out beautifully from Port Darwin's Henson. He's been everywhere this afternoon. Critical defender for Port Darwin. They'll need to have a consistent and prolonged afternoon to keep Azuri out, that's for sure. Chemelier finds William. Bukana looking for a teammate. And that skips to Hood to pick that one up and get his team back into attack. Henson looks for a teammate, forced back. Goes to Hood. Hood will look for an attacking thrust and kicks that ball forward. And Paul misjudged that. He could have been off for an attacking run there, but ball skips away for an Azuri throw. And Daxon Massey to get us underway. Back to Jeke. Taker Jeke pulls the ball forward. Marimbe. Massey. Jeke. Back to goalkeeper McNevin. Will he look wide again? Cut central to Marimbe. Marimbe out to Delembo. Delembo midboard. Stephanodakis. It's cut out from Finocchiaro, who's been up and down that left-hand flank all afternoon so far. Paul. Good touch there. Proceeds forward. Pressure from Stephanodakis continues to go, and that will be picked up for a free kick on Isaac Paul. Port Darwin Football Club have really put that early barrage of Azuri attack and pressure behind them. They're firmly in this contest, and in the opening 21 minutes, it's been a well-deserved lead, you would say, in the balance of play. And Henson, Port Darwin equally have a fair whack of tall timber in the box. It finds its way forward. And Massey will keen to clear that. And it's a throw-in for Port Darwin. Paul. And it wins himself a corner. Daxon really trying just to get a head onto that. Headed that out into touch. And it will be a corner for Port Darwin. Looking to deliver a second blow, potentially. Be Prifty to get this ball delivered into the box. Agbassi a clear target, as well as William. Although they are very dangerous from set pieces, as we've seen plenty of times this season. Port Darwin, Prifty looking for a teammate there. It's a shot taken wide always from the left back in Nick Long. Not a bad attempt, and in a case like that where the ball spills out, to prevent a counter-attack, sometimes a shot is not the worst option. McNevin will see that out all day long, which he gets us underway to Ajake. Tiga Ajiki looks back inboard. Marimbe being pressured by Agbassi, loses the ball, comes forward, surging, can play Finocchiaro, and Finocchiaro has a shot, and it's played out wide. And that's a goal kick for University Azzurri. Sensing a bit of frustration from some of the Azzurri players. They'll need to put that behind them. There's plenty of time in this match, and frustration only leads to poor play. McNevin forward. Will this firmly hit the head of Gittins or Chemelier? Does neither. Ends up finding Chemelier's head, but that's put out for a Port Darwin throw. 23rd minute. 1-0 to Port Darwin Football Club on the North Crest scoreboard. An early goal to Ikemsinachi Agbassi gives the Wolfies a 1-0 lead thus far in this contest. Henson heading forward for his team. Looks wide. Finds his way inboard to Agbassi. Nice ball put through there to Finocchiaro, who has the pace for Edwards. Is a pacey defender, as well as is the winger in Finocchiaro. Possibly a poor choice of decision there from Finocchiaro, but he will have plenty of time to atone for that, the youngster. And Azuri back now with McNevin. The notable absences from this Azuri side, usual captain Peter Raditis, who is not in the starting 16 today, out of this match, and on the bench today is Uche Okwara, who is the top goal scorer for Azuri. Chemelier now on the attack. Bukana still with the ball. Humble man Bukana looks inboard, and that's no penalty there. Adventurous play from Bukana, dealt well with by the Port Darwin defence to not concede a penalty. And it will be an Azzurri throw. Thrown in by Massey. Bukana puts the ball inboard, looking for Chemelier. Only finds its way out to Marimbe. Prifty, and it will be a judged handball. Free kick to Azzurri. We'll look to deliver another ball into the box here with the players they've got to attack this ball. It'll be Jolamal to deliver. Jiki heads forward, as well does Paul Chenelier. But will it be direct, or will it be an effort for a teammate? This very well could be a shot on goal, and Azzurri will need to be reactive on any crumbs left from keeper Hood. Jolamal puts the ball in, slips over. Stefanidakis gets the ball. Oh, and it's a fantastic save from Hood. Forced out, will be brought back in from Zuri Marimbe. Cheeky Long deals with that expertly. Inboard to Paul. Paul looks out wide for Agbassi. And that will be with Azuri. Marimbe out of play. And it's a Port Darwin throw. Fantastic effort by Nicholas Stefanidakis just then to makeshift a shot on goal, and equally up to the task was goalkeeper Rory Hood. Keeps it 1-0 to Port Darwin. Long back into play. Intercepted by the man who just had that shot, Stefanidakis. Back to Marimbe. Cut out by Prifty. Agbasi forced off the ball there by Marimbe. Ajiki looking for a teammate and could do out wide from Masai. Makes the expert run into Gittins. Bailey will deal. Needs to be clever there. Azzurri throw. Fast, frenetic pace. Both teams showing us the importance of this game. Azzurri edging their way back into it with some good attacking runs. Paul clears. Looks for Agbasi, dealt with by Delembo. Marimbe, Ajiki looks forward for Edwards, and he'll find him. Edwards with an early ball, and technique not quite on there from Dean Edwards, and that's out for a goal kick. We've been covering the top goal scorers this season so far, and for both sides, Andre Prifty, 9 goals in 11 matches, and Okwara, 8 goals in 10. Okwara, currently on the bench, will be a look-to substitute for Adidas' side to look to get them parity if it remains the same way. And Hood will look downfield with this one, and does so. Looks for Prifty. Tries to get the head onto Agbasi. Finds its way to Agbasi. Looks to play through Isaac Paul, and Paul on the ball. Well done from Delembo to get that out momentarily, because it's still with Agbasi. Agbasi takes his man on, does so well, and Massey sees that one go out, and will be a throw for Port Darwin. Gittins looks to get us resumed. He's got some teammates to look forward to. Long. William offers the close one. Prifty the long one. Goes to Prifty. Prifty looks to head the ball in. Intercepted by Azzurri. Jolamal. Dealt with by Henson. He's got a Chandelier chasing. We'll go back to Paul. Rory Hood. Henson back with the ball. He'll go long. Agbasi and Delembo will have a long tussle all day today. Marimbe dispossessed. Isaac Paul now with Akers. Goes forward. Challenge in from Marimbe. Prifty with William. William can have an attempt here and could not quite get that one out from under his feet. And easily dealt with by McNevin. Very cagey. Well done from Henson. Jolamal plays the ball out to Chandelier. Looks inboard. Potentially for his brother Paul. Lewis with a good ball in. Dealt with beautifully by Gittins. Can Long keep that in? No, he can't. Azzurri throw. There's no shortage of attacking options for the Azzurri. They'll look to find someone to threaten that Port Darwin defence. In the meantime, it's Port Darwin with some nice play from Finocchiaro and his team a throw which Nick Long will take. Long, back to Henson. We'll go back to his goalkeeper and Rory Hood. Hood with time on the ball and space. Goes forward to Prifty. Paul looks to apply some pressure. Ajiki back to McNevin. McNevin on the ball. Will he go long? No, goes short to Delembo. Back inboard to Ajiki. Finds its way to Daniel Marimbe. Looks wide for Dean Edwards. Falls as he played that ball, which might have given it some extra emphasis on there. Chandelier, attacking threat for Azzurri. Plays the ball forward. Chandelier. And that's finds its way to the side netting. Goal kick for Port Darwin. 31 minutes into this match. Big thank you to McDonald's and all the work they do in women's football and live streaming in the Northern Territory. Diamond Barbers, 3 locations, Parat, Bellamac and Darwin CBD. Stay sharp in 2021. Book now at Diamond Barbers. Ward Keller, the Territory Law Firm, personal and business dispute resolution experts. Call them today on 1-800-978-360, 1-800-978-360. Henson for Port Darwin. Bailey. Looking forward does Bailey. He's got Agbassi out wide, and he'll find his way to him. Isaac Paul looks for Prifty in the central park. Tries to contest with Ajiki. Needed to be sure there, McNevin, and was. Chenelier on the ball. Looks inboard. Paul dispossesses him. And as dispossessed again from Masai, plays the ball in. Bukana inboard. Stefanidakis. He's got Jolimal and Chenelier up front. What will Stefanidakis do? Tries to play through Chenelier. Has a shot. Over the bar. Off balance there was Chenelier, and he can strike one. Can the Frenchman? He's got 3 goals in 9 matches, so he can definitely find the back of the net. He'll look to atone for that one, or Paul. Apologies, 5 goals in 7. He's been on a streak lately. A lot of form with him. His brother Lewis has 3 goals in 9. Both brothers proving potent for the Azzurri. Edwards, his defensive half to McNevin, looking to relieve the Azzurri. Does find Marimbe. Gets its way to Stefanidakis. Delembo. Can Zuri conjure up here in the final 12 minutes of this half? Marimbe looks forward for a teammate. Finds its way to Massey. Massey with the ball. To Marimbe. Return ball. Isaac Paul tries to get that out. Finds its way to Chenelier. Dealt with from Henson, and off the Azzurri player in Lewis Chenelier, and it'll be a goal kick for Port Darwin. Another noticeable absence from the Port Darwin side today is Wal Jock, who behind Prifty is their leading scorer on 3 goals in 10. Agbassi's goal today takes him as well to 3. But they'll be missing that extra attacking surge that they can get. And it'll be Hood to get us back underway with a goal kick. They'll be in no rush to take this kick. It's forced on by the referee, Henson. Looks inboard. And Nick Long couldn't get a touch onto that one. Be a Azzurri throw. Edwards to bring this one back in. Needs to be some certainty from the Azzurri in this final 10 minutes. Bukana dispossessed. And he tried to get a touch on to that ball. Matthew Jones getting there slightly earlier, which then forces a free kick to his team. With Bukana trying to get the ball back off the midfielder and Jones. Port Darwin might look to launch a attacking threat from this set piece. Henson puts one in. It's a long ball. McNevin needs to be sure and catches that confidently. Well done from McNevin. Kick forward only as far as the head of Henson. Ajiki. Edwards. Put under a little bit of pressure there from Finocchiaro. Still with Edwards. Edwards trying to skip forward. Finocchiaro dispossesses him, but it ends up back with Edwards with the ball. Bukana. Jalamal. Pushed off the ball there. Was Henson. Play on. William. Stefanidakis. With time. Lewis Chenelier out wide. Looks inboard for a shot. Off the bar. What an attempt there from Chenelier. Rocked the crossbar. A little frustrated with himself that he didn't dip that one in. It was a fantastic effort from range. Looking to add to his goal tally this season. You like to think that Michael Roditis, the Azzurri coach, will be encouraged by his side's response to going 1 goal behind. They've been prevalent on the attack. Equally, Ryan Bailey, player coach for Port Darwin, who's currently out there, will be very impressed with his side's performance thus far to be leading 1-0. Prifty. Ball forward. Skips its way through to Isaac Paul. Isaac Paul with the goalkeeper. That's misplaced from Paul, who has scored this season only the singular goal. On the contrast, last season in 17 matches, Isaac Paul netted 10 times. Ryan Bailey using him in a wider position this season. Found his way with many assists, not quite as goal potent as he was in season 2020. Nonetheless, a threatening player. Edwards looks forward to launch his team on an attack. Chenelier looks back out wide, looks inboard. All he do is face up Buchanan. Buchanan with the ball, takes on Henson, looks inboard, looks back for a teammate. Jolamal skipping forward. Prifty dispossesses, ends back with Buchanan. Plays it across to his captain, Azzurri. Finds Stephanodakis with some time to turn here. Does so. Henson deals with that. And Isaac Paul will look to repel his team. Just simply kicks it forward to get out of his defensive area. Marimbe, challenge with Agbasi. The stronger of the two was Daniel Marimbe, the number 6 for Azzurri. It's Delembo. Back out wide to Azzurri, who's pushed a little far forward. Plays in a ball. Cut out well from Jones. Paul looks for the switch. Put under pressure there from Chenelier, and that's what just forced the ball slightly more adrift to the Azuri goalkeeper, McNevin. Delembo. Jolamal asking for the ball early. Does not get it. Plays it instead through. But that'll skip its way straight to Rory Hood. Port Darwin will look to take some pressure and some sting out of the game and aim towards to prevent their lead reduced before the half. Rory Hood to Henson. Henson forward to Prifty. Prifty being pressured there from Delembo. Gets away and Delembo gives away a slight free kick there to halt the play. Prifty. Looked for an early ball there. Wasn't quite on. Instead plays it quick to Paul. Masai will follow that through. Ends up with Isaac Paul again, and Masai played that off Isaac Paul for an Azuri throw. Approaching the remaining 5 minutes of this half of regulation time, Azuri still need to push a little harder to get back onto the scoreboard. One of those key players to drive them forward will be Azzurri and their captain. McNevin looks wide, finds Delembo. Delembo plays it to Marimba. Looks forward for Edwards. Edwards on the attack there. Chemelier's back post unmanned. And Hood, Chenelier, tries to play it back for Buchanan and dealt with by Port Darwin. Bailey leaves that for Rory Hood. Out of trouble again are the Wharfies. Henson looks to repel them on an attack. Plays forward for Prifty. It's Prifty versus Azzurri here. And very skillful is Prifty. Azzurri needs to force that out for a throw-in. It's been fantastic this season, has Azzurri. William. Prifty. Prifty looks forward. Skillfully finds his way through. What can he conjure here? Prifty offline there. It's a good opportunity too to force McNevin into a save. Instead it's played that wide, and McNevin will be thankful for that. Promising signs for both sides in the opening 41 minutes. Azuri need to restore parity, not just for today's actions, but for the remainder of the season. They'll need to keep the pace with league leaders Hellenic in an attempt to dethrone them from the top. Henson, well done. One from that header from Buchanan. Only as far as Delembo for Azuri. McNevin. Look to launch this ball forward. Buchanan looks to play that on to Chenelier. Does so well. Chenelier with the ball. Cuts back inboard. Defended well by Gittins. Buchanan Ball in from Jones. William looks long. And offside was Finocchiaro. Dangerous signs for Port Darwin. Can't lose any lapse of concentration in defence, as we just saw an attempt was dealt with by Gittins, but equally as dangerous for Azzurri. McNevin pushing his team forward, urging them to restore parity here. Ball forward from McNevin. Only as far as the head of Jones. Paul heads that forward. Stephanodakis shields that ball, goes back inboard. Nice play from the youngster Stephanodakis. Pushed off it, but it ends up back with him. Daxon Masai looks to go wide, does so. Cuts inboard. And that'll be a free kick. Off balance was Masai and dispossessed by the Port Darwin player. But it will be a free kick. There's no need to protest this. It's a free kick for Azzurri, and Port Darwin should just be getting back into position to defend this dangerous ball. Approaching the 44th minute. I'd like to thank Steel Line, service over and above. NTF, Construction Supply Specialists, your local construction supplier. Steel Line and NTF. As has been football in the territory prevalent for so many years, as has Steel Line and NTF. Fantastic sponsors of the game. It's Marimbe over this ball. Three-man war for Port Darwin, set up by Hood. Marimbe will look to get onto the head of Ajiki. Chenelier, edge of the box. Jolomalan Delembo in weight. Can this be the ball to restore the match to level terms? Marimbe puts the ball in. Hood opts to clear that with his foot. And it's out for Port Darwin. Paul looking wide, dispossessed. Gittins still on the ball here. Agbassi looking to get forward. Gittins dispossessed. Bukana looks forward. Inboard, goes back. Marimbe. Delembo. And some resurgence needs to take place here from Azzurri to find a goal in the remaining time that is in this first half. McNevin, Ajiki, Prifty, back to Ajiki. Looks forward. Chenelier and Paul. Finocchiaro with a wayward ball there. Bukana tries to put that onto Bailey. Gittins, William. Bukana tries to go in for a slide. And that concludes the first half of action. It is 1-0 to Port Darwin, courtesy of an early goal from Kemsinachi Agbassi. Not to say that Azzurri haven't had their fair chance of opportunities. Both teams up for this one. But we'll leave you at halftime in a 1-0 scoreline to Port Darwin. Looking forward to having you for the second half. Gittins. Out to Paul, intercepted by Buchanan, but it runs its way through to Paul. Paul looks inboard, finds William. Prifty not on the same wavelength as his midfielder. Delembo. Jolamal. Back to Delembo. Chenelier looks to get forward. It bounces away from him. Henson. Finocchiaro has had a fantastic first half. Plays it back to Long. Adventurous ball forward. Only as far as Ajeke. Loses his footing slightly, but atones for that. Edwards out wide for Azzurri. Edwards looks for a teammate forward, midfield, and does so with Stephanodakis. Young Nicholas Stephanodakis plays it back to Marimbe. To Massier. Buchanan. Buchanan contests with Ryan Bailey, the player coach for Port Darwin Football Club. Massier. Chenelier. Looks for a teammate. Buchanan loses out. Prifty. And Prifty going forward himself. Looks for a teammate. And Igbasi is running inboard. Prifty. Wide shot there. Igbasi couldn't quite get himself on side to provide assistance for Prifty. And goal kick for Azuri. A player like Andre Prifty has been crucial for Port Darwin in terms of their development as a squad, and evidently their results this season with his direct goal and assist contributions has been a vital player for Port Darwin. They would look to retain him beyond 2021. But now it's back with Rory Hood, Port Darwin, the goalkeeper. Henson. Ball forward, only intercepted by Azzurri. Stephanodakis looks back, finds Delembo. Delembo forward, gets its way to Edwards. Edwards looking to get around Long, loses out. Long, Finocchiaro looks to get to Prifty, doesn't quite. Marimbe, we'll see that one forward. Marimbe out to Masai, looks to get in here. He's got Gittins to contest with. Plays it back to Buchanan. Marimbe looks inboard. Finds Stephanodakis. Touching from Chenelier to his brother. Bailey. And that's a handball against Paul Chenelier. Be frustrated with that. There's a good attacking threat for University Azzurri. Nonetheless, it will be a Port Darwin kick with their goalkeeper Roy Hood. Hood forward, trying to find Paul. It does so, but it's intercepted from Marseille. Chenelier back to his left back, all the way to Dylan McNevin. Takes on Agbasi. Adventurous from the goalkeeper. Will look to inspire his team for a second half resurgence here. But no far is Bailey. William sits up for Gittins. Back inboard to William. Wayward ball. Picked off from Marimbe. Buchanan takes on Bailey. Buchanan still going. He's got Chenelier out wide. A touch for Chenelier. Has a shot. Save. Buchanan. And it's gone wide. Two attempts there from University Azzurri. First from Louis Chenelier, forcing a save from Rory Hood, and it spilled straight out to humble man Buchanan, and Buchanan puts that wide, uncharacteristic from the attacker. He'll look to atone for that. Let off for Port Darwin. Their goal lead still stays intact as we approach the 50th minute of the match. Rory Hood made a force down to make a fantastic save to his low left side. Gets us back underway. Marimbe looks to springboard Azuri. Henson. Edwards plays it forward. Looking for Jolamal. It will skip just beyond him for a Port Darwin throw. And Long will look for an offering teammate. Looks Long to Prifty. Gets a touch onto that Prifty. Inboard. Finocchiaro. Well done from Gabriel and Finocchiaro. Play on. Azuri ball. Chenelier. touches the ball inside the box, has a shot off target from the Frenchman. Couple shots in quick succession for Azzurri. They're certainly finding the space, and that's something that Port Darwin will need to atone for. Henson brings this ball back in play for his team. Won't hesitate to go back to Hood. It's been exceptional today, this afternoon. The goalkeeper and defensive partnership in Henson and Hood. Good ball forward from Henson. Tries to find Prifty. As far as the boot of Ajiki. Humble man Bukana. Stefanidakis, Chenelier, Jalamal, and his touch, unfortunately, there sees it go out for a Port Darwin throw. Long throws the ball in. Edwards contests with Prifty. Stefanidakis looks to go back. Does so. Finds Ajiki. Masai. Gittins puts him under pressure. Masai, can he escape out of this? Does. A long ball out wide to Chenelier. Bukana looks inboard. Can have an attempt. Does so. And kept in from Hood. Saved beautifully and picked up before the threat of Jalamal could influence the play for Azzurri. Forward from Hood. Paul and Masai bounces forward and finds its way to Agbasi, the goal scorer. Kemsinachi Agbasi plays the ball central there. Prifty's on. It's a good touch from McNevin. Oh, and it's adjudged offside from Prifty. A wayward touch from McNevin, providing was offside. Prifty could have tucked away Port Darwin's second. Linesman to Azzurri's rescue there. McNevin looks to go quick forward. Henson with Chenelier clears that ball out. Will be an Azzurri throw in the attacking left-hand side of the pitch. Both sides attacking the second half in a positive manner. Port Darwin well on the defence and Azzurri as equal on the attack. Bukana out wide, looks inboard, does so but finds only an opposition teammate in Prifty. Prifty still with the ball, talented as is he, the forward, and is brought to ground eventually. Will earn a free kick for his team. And some respite for his Port Darwin defence. Port Darwin Football Club formerly came to be in 1996 after a merger between Parap and St Mary's. They formed with Waratahs in 2006, and since then we've had a Port Darwin Football Club. Proud history and successful team in all divisions, notably in 2012 having won the Men's Premier League Championship. Ball forward from Azzurri, cut out there. It's back with Azzurri. Chenelier looks for Jalamal. And his pace can get on the end of this. Jalamal proceeding forward. Stepped up from Nick Long. Looks for a ball in. And it's caught firmly from Rory Hood. Throws quickly out to Henson. Henson looking for a teammate wide. Plays the ball down low. No farther than Ajiki for Azzurri. Chenelier looks forward. Touches the ball. Has a shot. Misplaced again. They're getting into the positions, but not quite efficient enough as poor Chenelier that time. Got a substitution coming for University Azzurri. Looks to be Germanius Jalamal coming from the pitch. Good 55 minutes or so. He is replaced by Uche Okwara, the goal scorer himself. He is very potent up front this season. Will look to nab his 9th goal in 10 matches. Currently sits on 8, but his presence now up forward will add another avenue for an attack for the Azzurri. Marimbe looks back, finds Edwards. Edwards to Delembo. Gets his touch. Is Aquara. Back with Marimbe for Azzurri. Contested with by Isaac Paul. Stephanodakis looks to play a ball inboard. No further than his opposition goalkeeper and Rory Hood, who collects that ahead of Paul Chenelier. And Lewis. Ball forward from Port Darwin, no far than Masai. Aquara. He's got options, doesn't either forward. Well done to take that under the play was Jones. He'll skip out for a throw for Port Darwin. Seems to be a rejig of the formation now with both Chenelier brothers attacking either side of the flanks and Aquara leading the line for Azzurri. No changes as of yet from Port Darwin. They'd be relatively content with the progress they've made. Just over 10 minutes into this second half. Gittins throws in, tries to find his teammate in William, who gives a foul there for his side, allows them to regroup. Ajiki plays the ball forward, looks for the head of Aquara, doesn't quite find it. Through it finds Henson. Finocchiaro against Edwards. Finocchiaro still with the ball, clears that ball. Azzurri will look to now capitalise on this only part of possession. Bukana, Edwards, goes back and finds Ajiki, his captain. Ajiki, Masai. Masai heading forward, pressured by Prifty. Oh, and that's a mix-up there of defensive players. Instead, it's a Azzurri throw. Louis Chenelier. That's the referee signalled for here. It's a throw-in. Port Darwin eager to make a substitution. But it will have to come after this passage of play. Aquara with the ball. Plays it back. Bukana finds Marimbe. Marimbe with a shot. Hits a Port Darwin player. So it'll head out for a corner for University Azzurri, which will give them some time to send some men forward. Chenelier. Paul. Chenelier can drive a menacing corner in here. Looks for a teammate. Only as far as William. Isaac Paul for Port Darwin looking to come out of his defensive area. And now will be the opportunity for a substitution for Port Darwin. Coming from the pitch is number 31 in Gabriel Finocchiaro. Up and down all day has been Finocchiaro. He is replaced by Daniel Oliveira. Looks to be a like-minded substitution there from Port Darwin. Zuri on the ball now. Asai, Marimbe. Chenelier wins a throw. Louis Chenelier throws that forward. Bukana enters the box, plays it to Aquara. Aquara recedes back, then proceeds forward. Up by Gittins, tries to cut in and does. Aquara, and William clears that out. They had to be careful there, Port Darwin, with Aquara edging his way into the box, not to give away a penalty, and they were wise not to overcommit on that occasion. Jackson Masai to get us underway with this throw. Looks long. Chenelier. Bailey. Cleared out to Tega Ajiki. Looks for a ball in. Hits the foot of Aquara. Aquara still with the ball. Has a shot. Wide from the goal machine. Uche Aquara. He had potentially Chenelier in a position where he could have played him through, but unfortunately didn't find its way there. Port Darwin with the goal kick. We've ticked over 60 minutes now of this match. Still a 1-0 lead with Port Darwin. And Rory Hood, the goalkeeper, sends that past halfway. Met by Marimbe. Edwards plays a ball forward. Tries to find Paul Chenelier. Cleared out by Henson. Long contests with Buchanan. Buchanan gets that forward. Chenelier attacking Henson. Gets wide. Well done from the defender, who puts that out for an Azzurri corner kick. Azzurri trying to get their men forward to threaten the Port Darwin defence. Both Delembo and Ejeke getting forward. Chenelier delivers the ball in. Hits his brother. Play on from... Yep, and it's eventually picked up as a handball from Louis Chenelier. We brought back in from Port Darwin via their goalkeeper. And Rory Hood, who's been on his game today, filling in for the usual custodian and Dominic Price, who is out of the 16 today. We can only assume for work or personal reasons. They'd miss their usual goalkeeper. He's atoned well, as Rory Hood. He's filled in very well for Dominic Price. Henson loses out to Aquara. Aquara in an attacking position. Bailey didn't commit, pulled out there. Clever work there done from the central defender. Didn't commit to that foul, else that would have been a penalty for University Azzurri. Instead, carefully and cleverly marshalling his man out of play. We touched upon the foundation of Port Darwin Football Club. In February of 1999, Darwin Azzurri came to the forefront of Darwin football. And in 2001, in July, Nakara Soccer Club were formed. And later, in February of 2007, the merging of the University and Nakara and Azzurri soccer clubs have come to be University Azzurri FC, which have been at the forefront of the senior competitions of men and women and junior football since 2007. Here we are 14 years later, and they are contesting for the top of the table in the Men's Premier League. Stefanidakis, cleverly with the ball, allows it to get to his captain and Tega Ejeki. Ejeki plays that ball forward, looking for Buchanan. Bailey, with first preference of this ball, will try and shepherd that out and win a foul for his team. And Bailey will hold this ball for his goalkeeper to take the free kick. A little too keen was Buchanan to win that ball back. Some players limbering up for University Azzurri. Could be a substitution in the offing. But for now, it's Port Darwin with the ball. Hood. That looks for the head of William. Doesn't quite find it. Instead, Marimbe for Azzurri is onto that. Chenelier finds its way back to Marimbe. Dispossessed from Egbassi. Egbassi still with the ball. Play on for Azzurri. William contesting Ejeki. And it's an Azzurri free kick. A judge for an infringement on Lewis William. 64th minute this afternoon. Ejeke gets us forward onto the head of Henson for Port Darwin. Intercepted that. Delembo looks to play it forward. Henson again. Marimbe looks wide to find Louis Chenelier. Buchanan cut in, and a free kick given there. First caution of the match going to the Port Darwin player, and then Andre Prifty. He cut down Buchanan. Will be a free kick to University Azzurri in position of some danger. Looks to be a substitution to be a substitution for University Azzurri. Coming off the pitch will be Louis Chenelier, who's done well today. A couple of attempts on target, notably off the crossbar. He comes off for the afternoon, replaced by number 14 in Ronnie and Aragon. He'll look to get forward and provide his team with some supplementary attacking reinforcement. But for now, we have Delembo over this free kick. Delembo strikes that. Menacing ball, and it's in! What a free kick from Delembo, and that Rory Hood stood no chance. Fantastic free kick there from Anthony Delembo with some distance out. And that ball needed to be perfect, and it was, off the crossbar and in. Nothing Rory Hood could do about that. In the 66th minute, we have parity again. It's taken some time, but Azzurri find themselves level once more. 1-1. What will the response be from this? Long. Port Darwin looks forward, intercepted by Edwards. Buchanan. Pep in their step. Do Azzurri have now? They'll have this throw to further pressure the game now. Edwards. Buchanan. Back to Edwards. Looks for a ball in. Hits off William. Azzurri throw. Edwards looks forward. Finds Buchanan. Free kick for Azzurri. No advantage offered there. It'll be Marimbe to deliver a ball here. Another set piece in a matter of minutes, and their last one was influential by Delembo. It drew them level, but instead now will be Marimbe on the ball. Who can he offer this ball to? Pulls in a lofting ball. Find the head of Masai. Also hit his head. Wasn't quite anticipating that one, and Prifty off Marimbe, and it will be a Port Darwin throw. Another opportunity for Azzurri to hit the front, but Masai not quite aware to that ball, and ricochets off his head out of play. Long throws in. William still with the ball is William. Buchanan. It'll be a Port Darwin throw. Well, he dust themselves off from that opportunity, and goal will Port Darwin, and still level pegging. There's plenty of time left in this match for either side. Long throws intercepted by Marimbe. Henson. Aquara finds himself inboard. Aquara puts a ball in. Looks in. Buchanan. And it's hit out for a goal kick. Unfortunate there from the Azzurri play. Hit a ricochet, actually. It's a corner kick for University Azzurri. Had a touch out from the shot from Buchanan. It hit a Port Darwin player. And instead we have a ball in from Chenelier. Looks inboard. Delembo once again. Cleared. Some players go down in the box there, notably from Port Darwin. Goalkeeper and Rory Hood and Nick Long putting their bodies on the line there, and they've come off second best, it looks like. Rory Hood looks in some discomfort, as does Nick Long. For the goalkeeper here, they're going to want to make sure he's not out of the game longer. University of Azzurri will take this opportunity to hydrate. Some strikes that have influenced this match. We had a early first half goal from Agbasi to put Port Darwin 1-0 up, and a couple minutes ago we've had Anthony Delembo equalising with a fantastic free kick from distance. Plenty of time to go in this match. It's evenly poised. Will it be in the substitutes that win it for either side? It's around about 30 degrees out there. Cooling though since the start of the match, with some shade. 4 o'clock time slot is not one that's often looked forward to by the teams that have to play it, but both the conditions are even for both teams, so no excuses for either side. It's good to see Hood back to his feet. Certainly looked uncomfortable for a large period of that time, and back to his feet. Looks a little uncomfortable still. Hopefully he can continue this match. It looks to be okay. Has a drink of the water, dust off of the hat, and he'll look to get us back underway. You don't like seeing any player go off, especially a goalkeeper. Such a crucial position, and Hood looks to have dust off his troubles. Ball out for Oliveira, headed out from an Aragon. Port Darwin throw. Gittins with the ball. Throws forward, looking for Oliveira, finds him. Heavy touch, puts that out of play for an Azzurri throw. And Aragon now with the ball, forward to Chenelier. Cut out by Oliveira as far as the touchline. Azuri throw. Buchanan. Aquara looks for Masai. Long getting the ball mixed up there. Paul needs to be efficient there, and Long again. Ricocheted off Edwards. That ball clearance from Long. Goal kick for Port Darwin. Henson. Lofts the ball forward, looking for a teammate. Delembo, the goal scorer, deals with that. Prifty up. Plays the ball down, and Aragon clears. As far as player coach Ryan Bailey, Chenelier, nice touch there, brings it down. And Aragon can get on to the end of this, but Gittins with the ball. Still rolling into play. Good ball switch from Masai. Long with a good interception there. Paul needs to be strong there. Loses the ball out to Stefanidakis. It's Edwards. Looks for a ball into play for Azzurri, and it's partially dealt with. As far as Chenelier, down for Aquara, but Bailey deals with that one brilliantly. Azzurri now with the ball again. Edwards. Masai. Edwards skips in. It's a free kick. There'll be another caution for number 4, their defender in Nick Long. Azzurri, you can feel, are on the precipice of finding another goal. Be Daniel Marimbe over this ball. And possibly another opportunity from the dead ball situation. Plenty of teammates have headed forward for this one. Ajake firmly in the central area. Delembo lurking. Ball from Marimbe. Hits Prifty, the one-man wall. Marimbe again. Prifty kicks that one out. Edwards throws in. Marimbe. Long offering pressure. Buchanan. Back stick for Ajiki. And heads it in! Azzurri hit the front. Goalkeeper left in no man's land. Captain Tega Ajiki. Back post there. Unmanned there, really. And a free header finds its way into the back of the net. Azzurri hit the front in the 75th minute by their captain, Tega Ajiki. Heads in his 3rd goal of the season, and Azzurri find themselves now 2-1 to the good. Henson for Port Darwin. Isaac Paul Heavy touch. Port Darwin ball. Substitution now to come for Port Darwin. It'll be number 16 in Cooper, Grayson Cooper. And coming from the pitch, Matthew Jones, who's had a good shift today. We'll see what impact Cooper can have. He's got a touch immediately. Henson, forward for Prifty. Gets a touch onto this ball. Edwards clears. Not as far as an infringement against him. His elbow in an unorthodox position. Port Darwin with a set piece now. Taken by Andre Prifty. Looks for a teammate to support this free kick. He's got William, Agbassi and Henson in the box. What can Prifty produce? Ball in from Prifty, no farther than Azzurri's Delembo. Isaac Paul for Port Darwin. Gittins, Bailey loses his footing. Manages to find its way to Gittins. Looks for a creative touch forward. Bukana for Azzurri. Ajiki can release Aquara, and he releases Chenelier. He can go on a run here. Long looking over his shoulder, the flag doesn't come. Aquara. Cooper intercepts for Port Darwin. Good defensive piece of work, but loses the ball out to Marimbe. Marimbe plays the ball and looks for Daxon Masai. Can play a ball in early here. Does so. And seen out from Port Darwin for a throw. Attacking left-hand side for Azzurri. And Aragon inboard for Marimbe. Back to Ajiki. Can find his goalkeeper McNevin and does. McNevin with the ball. Plays that forward. Finds Bukana. Now to Aragon. Marimbe. Ajiki. Goes forward. Chenelier. Bukana can have a shot here and does. Saved well by goalkeeper Roy Hood. Enterprising play from University of Azuri late on here. Agbassi trying to get on the end of this and does. Keeps it in. Well done from Agbassi. Skips past Delembo. Agbassi out wide. Looks inboard for a teammate. Skips past Edwards. Eventually dealt with by Delembo. But put up by a referee for an infringement on Azzurri. It'll be their ball. A couple tired legs out there. Daxon Masai signals to the touchline that he needs to be replaced. Will be another substitution for Port Darwin and University of Azuri. Number 17, William Suarez, to replace Daxon Masai. And it is the goal scorer, Ikemsinachi Agbassi, coming from the field. And his replacement is Samson Mashamango. Both players coming from the field have done great work for their teams. No further than the goal scorer, Agbassi, who put Port Darwin into the lead, and Masai, who's been dangerous on that wing side for Azzurri. Hansen had to be sure and was out for a throw-in for Azzurri. Edwards now on the ball. Forward to Suarez, looking to get his first touch of the half, and does. It's back to Edwards. Marimbe. Delembo. Intercepted by Cooper. Cooper still with the ball. Looks inboard. And it's Marimbe. Edwards. Suarez. Marimbe. Stephanodakis intercepted from Oliveira. William looks forward. Finds Paul. Paul with the ball. Pushed off by Ajake. Fairly done. And Paul brings him to ground. Delembo's gone down here. Seems to be and some discomfort and that potential fall before. It'll be a free kick for University Azzurri. Missing a few players, are they, University Azzurri? Nathaniel Paredes away, Kenneth Nahn unavailable, as well as their usual captain in Peter Adidas. And still find themselves 2-1 up against Port Darwin. And Aragon looks for a switch of play. Edwards forward. Bailey deals with that back to his goalkeeper and Roy Hood. Entering in the last 10 minutes of play here, 9 minutes to go. Time still for Port Darwin to restore parity themselves and for Azzurri to consolidate this match. It's with Gittins. Mashamango. Mashamango still with the ball. Plays it forward. Looks for Henson. And Henson offline. The defender hitting that one slightly off target, and that ball's gone out of the field. Thank you for that one, Andrew. We resumed with another ball now. McNevin. Get us back underway. Delembo. All out wide to Edwards. Suarez. Still on the ball, Suarez, strong. Plays it out, and it's Henson. Prifty. Prifty still with the ball now. Can makeshift an attack, and Ajiki blocks that one well. Chenelier can look out wide here. Still with Buchanan. Buchanan forward. Still going his humble man, Buchanan. Shaped up by Gittins. Puts the ball in. Aquara head on. Edwards tells Suarez to leave that so he can deliver it in. Headed out from long. And Edwards will take the throw. Suarez talks for an early ball. Technique not quite there, and it's a goal kick for Port Darwin, which will give them time for a substitution here. And number 2, Reza Zarkesh, comes on the field, and he will replace Anthony Delembo, the goal scorer. Let's put them back into this match with a fantastic free kick. Although there's still time to change this result. And Port Darwin have the throw. Henson forward. Looks for Paul. Prifty. Mashamango. Henson looks forward. Finds Prifty. Intercepted by Azuri. Stefanidakis. Suarez. Crunched off that. And it's a free kick to Azuri. Mashamango slightly heavy on Stefanidakis there. Be a free kick for University of Azzurri now. They're in the luxury of not wanting to get ploughed away rather quickly. But now with obviously a 2-1 lead. The referee will be onto that though. Any visual time wasting will result in some additional time. Ajeke forward. At Bailey. Well done out there. William. Henson. Looks wide for Prifty. Quickly pressured by Ajeke. Looks back in board. Henson. Still with the ball. Zarkesh. Great tackle by the substitute. Port Darwin sense an opportunity could come out of this. Henson looks Prifty. Still with the ball is Andre Prifty. Looks for a teammate. Henson tries to offer one. Gets forward. Zarkesh clears that out. Be Port Darwin ball now. Approaching the final 5 minutes of regulation time. Still plenty of time in this one for an opportunity for Port Darwin, and they'll try and makeshift something from this corner. Prifty short. Isaac Paul approaching the box. Isaac Paul with a shot. Oh, headed on there. finds its way out of play for Port Darwin. Unfortunately, Oliveira couldn't quite direct that to the on-rushing goal of Dylan McNevin. There'll be another substitution here for University Azzurri, and that is number 12 in Emmanuel Bemena coming onto the pitch, and he will replace humble man Bukana. We'll see what impact Bemena can do in the remaining time in this matchup. McNevin back in. Looks for the head of Aquara. And Bailey will let that roll to his goalkeeper. Hood needs to get them back underway with urgency. Does so. Bounces forward for Port Darwin. Met by Dylan McNevin, who will let Paul come to him. And he will grab that one with his play. Can springboard Azuri into another goal. Another goal you would think from here would surely secure the result. Wayward kick. Bemena needs to contest with this one. Mashamango gets the better of him this time. Big Bemena wins it back. Stephanodakis looks forward. Long. Henson out by Edwards. Port Darwin throw. Prifty. Prifty with the ball. Looks inboard and does. Good tackle from Marimbe. Needed to be clean there and was. Long heads it forward. Well done from Oliveira to Prifty. Prifty looks to the switch ball and finds Gittins. Back to Oliveira. Oliveira with the ball. Back out wide to Gittins. Can put in a cross here and does. It's a header. Ooh, and it's off target. Rose above his opposition number in Ajake, and William just wide. Opportunity goes begging for Port Darwin. Such a good ball in from Gittins, and just wide from William. He's had a fantastic game marshalling the centre of the pitch, and could have very, very easily gotten his side back onto level pegging. McNevin. He has been a colossus today. Read the game beautifully to keep his team 2-1 to the goods. He plays it forward. Chenelier. Long. Cooper tries to get ahead into that. Stephanodakis. Chased by William. It'll find its way to Anaragan. Looks back in. Ajeke. Can go back to his goalkeeper. McNevin and does. McNevin forward. Ajeke. Looks wide. Looks back inboard. Finds McNevin. They're being cornered in here, Azzurri. He'll look to clear it now. McNevin and does. Edwards marshalled out. And it will be a Port Darwin throw. Last minute and a half of this one. Be some added time, but time is running out for Port Darwin. Prifty looks back in. Henson's on it. Henson, a little heavy. Gittins will try and get to that one and does. He's got support there in Oliveira. Again back through to Gittins. Soft touch there. Chenelier will clear. And Port Darwin will reload for a throw-in. Approaching the last minute of regulation time. Mashamango. Gittins. Tries its way, find forward through, but only finds Chenelier. Aquara dips forward to Long. Touch on for his goalkeeper and Hood, and they can mount a late resurgence here, Port Darwin. Telling his team to proceed forward. Henson can get a head onto this and does. Edwards forward. Cooper and Edwards. Edwards still with the ball. Plays Aquara and is offside. Right idea there from Aquara to get into a good position, but just finds himself offside. Bailey will look to get his team back quickly. Zarkesh. Prifty competing with Marimbe. Suarez. Attacking run from Suarez here. Looks to take his man in long and does so beautifully. Here goes William Suarez. Aquara still on the ball. Finds his way outside of the box. Has a shot. Wide.
There'll be 3 minutes of time added on. 3.
And now we have 3 minutes to go of added time, borrowed time for Port Darwin. Can they makeshift a last opportunity? And Hood to get us forward. Looks for the teammate. Skip its way to William. Mashamango. Ajiki out. Chenelier will take this one down. It's touch a little heavy. Still with Azzurri, and Aragon looks to get forward, and Gittins intercepts well. Chenelier. Cooper. Long to Henson, who's pushed forward now in these latter stages. Edwards, and it's a free kick for Port Darwin. Long look to get the ball going quickly. Oliveira, Gittins. Paul looks for his teammate Oliveira, and it'll be a Port Darwin throw. Quick opportunity in play to help thank our sponsors, HPA, helping people achieve, supporting local Territorians and changing lives. Massive thank you to Peter and his team at Darwin Olympic Sporting Club for their partnership in season 2021. Ball forward from Port Darwin. Oh, and that's a free kick for Port Darwin. Looks to be we'll see what the linesmen judges from this decision here. Whether the contact was made inside or outside of the box. Looks to have been some heavy challenge on his man. And we'll see what decision is given here. A penalty kick could change the result of this match, and we'll see what the referees have decided. This one is will lean on his linesman a lot for some advice to see whether the contact was made outside of the box and then fell in, or whether the contact was made inside the box. Consultation nearly finished here. That's a penalty. Penalty for Port Darwin, and this could break the hearts of Azzurri fans at the death here. Caution shown to McNevin for some verbal altercation, and it'll be Andre Prifty. A goal here would surely snatch a point for Port Darwin. There's no better man to take this one than their leading goal scorer, Andre Prifty. McNevin will back himself, and Prifty runs in, scores! Port Darwin 2, University Azuri 2. And is there more drama to follow? Such a harsh decision in the eyes of Azzurri fans. Jubilation for Port Darwin, but nonetheless we find ourselves level pegging. Late substitution here now for Port Darwin. It'll be number 2, Stephen Brockway, coming onto the pitch, and he replaces number 4 in Nick Long, who has put in such a shift tonight. Ajeke forward. Azzurri don't think it's over yet. Henson forward. Oliveira, Prifty, Ajeke again. Mashamango with the ball, look to take his team forward. Mashamango with a good ball, headed forward by Edwards. And the referee signals full time this afternoon. Round 14 match between Port Darwin Football Club and University Azzurri Football Club. It ends in shared spoils, 2 goals, both teams, and a shared result which will not do much for them on the competition table. For the meantime, Port Darwin Football Club will leapfrog Azzurri Mindelasis into 5th, and the point picked up by Azzurri keeps them at 2nd. They'll be disappointed they couldn't hang on for the victory there. So this afternoon we have Port Darwin 2, University Azzurri 2. We have another match coming up later on tonight between Mindelaces Football Club and Darwin Hearts, and that will potentially affect further the ramifications for the finals. Thank you for your company this afternoon in what has been an exciting match between Port Darwin and Azzurri. 2-2. Thank you.